Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's professional development seminar, Editing Video with Clipchamp. I have people asking me all the time, how can I edit my videos that I create? There's something that's not quite right, or I want to take two videos and put them together into one, or I want to cut something out of a Zoom recording because I really don't want to share that with the world. Something happened in the class that I don't want to include in the recording. Or I just want to tighten something up and maybe remove a piece of it that wasn't really necessary. So this can all easily be done with a piece of software called a nonlinear video editor, a computer-based video editor. However, tends to be a bit of a learning curve. This is not the easiest type of software to learn to use in many cases. And also, some of them can be quite expensive. I mean, you can pay as much as $10,000 or $20,000 for a high-end video editing program that you'd use professionally or in the movie industry. But fortunately, there are much less expensive, all the way down to free video editors that you can use today that are much, much, much easier to learn to use than some of the more complex and powerful editors out there. And the one we're going to talk about today is the best one that I have seen so far for the occasional video editor, for a faculty member who produces their own instructional video or gets a video file from someone that someone else has produced and wants to edit it, customize it, add things to it, cut things out, clean it up. This can all be done in Clipchamp. And the Clipchamp is capable of editing just about any sort of video that you want to feed to it. Even extremely long, large video files like Zoom recordings, Zoom class recordings can be edited in Clipchamp. So it's just a great new resource. It's the best new editing resource I have seen in quite a while. So let's get started here. What is Clipchamp? Well, it is a free, or at least you can use it for free. They're going to do their best to try to get you to sign up for a fairly expensive subscription to it. The good thing is, at least for now, you don't need that. You can use Clipchamp perfectly well for free. And there doesn't seem to be any time limit on how long you can use it for free. I've been using it for months and have not paid Microsoft anything. It is offered by Microsoft, and it's in the Microsoft App Store for your computer, though that you don't really have to install anything because Clipchamp is, in its basic form, web-based. It runs in a web browser. You don't have to install any software on your computer. If you don't go for the subscription, which I certainly haven't, you do have to be a little careful in that your video that you're working on will be stored on the computer where you do the editing. And you won't be able to just go to another computer and pull up that same project again, at least not without some preparation and moving of clips and things like that over to the other computer. You can, however, go to any other computer and start a new project in Clipchamp. Clipchamp doesn't care what computer you're using. Again, you don't have to install it on the local computer in order to use it. It is what they call software as a service. It's cloud-based.
Dave, a question.
Yes.
Yes. So the software runs on the web, but while you are editing, is the video itself temporarily on the web, on the internet?
Actually, you're working with local copies of the files.
Okay. So
Okay,
even
so
while
you
you are
don't have to worry
editing,
about internet performance, but you do have to be connected to the internet to
how about
use.
privacy?
I'm sorry?
How about privacy? So while you are editing a video, is the entire video on your local computer, or is it
Yes,
temporarily
yes.
on the
As you're
internet?
editing, all the video files are on your computer
Okay.
in the free version. You can sync them online if you sign up for the um,
Paid.
paid version, but I don't want my video rolling around on the internet anyway. I'd rather have it on my local computer. So I haven't felt any inclination to sign up for a relatively, I think it's $10 or $20 a month for a relatively expensive subscription when it works fine on a local computer.
So you have a large memory. It is both cheaper
It
and more secure.
doesn't seem to have excessive memory or processor speed requirements. I've used this on a couple of different computers with different amounts of memory and processor speed. And it seems to run fine. Obviously, it's going to work more crisply, more snappily on a machine with a better processor and more memory. But I've used it on a machine, an Apple. Indeed, this works equally well on a Macintosh, Apple Macintosh, or a Windows PC. I've used it on a fairly minimal Macintosh with 8 megabits of RAM and the standard M1 Apple chip, and it ran fine. Indeed, in some ways, it ran better on the M1 than it does on my powerful desktop. So you don't need a huge computer or a very, very fast new computer. As to, there is obviously the more memory you have and the better the processor you have, the better the experience is going to be, because video editing is a fairly challenging thing to do on a computer. But I would guess that you wouldn't run this, for instance, on a Chromebook or something like that. It wouldn't have the horsepower. But most any middling decent Windows PC or new MacBook, laptop, or decent new PC, laptop, or desktop should run it. You just have to try it and see. It's hard to predict exactly how well it's going to work. And of course, it's a matter of how patient you are and waiting for things to happen. Some things will happen slower on an older, slower machine. So you just have to tinker with it. But it doesn't seem to have unreasonable hardware requirements on for your computer. The Clipchamp editor is far more powerful and functional than other free video editors that we have access to, like the Canvas Studio / Screencast-O-Matic video editor. We do have access to a video editor in Canvas Studio for free, and Screencast-O-Matic's video editor is a minimal cost. I think it's $10 or $20 a year to access that. It's another web-based video editor. But both of those have rather idiosyncratic interfaces, very different from most other video editors. And they're not that powerful. Particularly the one in Canvas Studio won't handle Zoom recordings. It's not powerful enough. So this is better than most other free video editors. They're more powerful. And even in cases where there are some very powerful free video editing programs like Shotcut, or there's another one called Lightworks. But those two have considerable learning curves. They're not that easy to use, especially if you've never used a video editor before. Shotcut's a lot easier to use than those two. The editor in Camtasia from TechSmith is better than Clipchamp, certainly has a lot more capability, and is probably even easier to use. though that's debatable. Clipchamp is very easy to use and very easy to learn to use, but Camtasia is better. But Camtasia will run you a little over $200 for an educational license. At least it's not a subscription, it's a one-time cost. But while Clipchamp's not as good as the editor in Camtasia, it's good enough for the vast majority of stuff that an instructional video producer is ever going to need to do. So it is an excellent choice, an excellent first choice for people just getting started, especially with video editing. And indeed, it does almost everything I ever do, need to do in video editing too. So it's really a great little program. So how do we get started with Clipchamp? Well, it's just about as easy as it could possibly be. You just web to Clipchamp, all one word, .com. And there you are, clipchamp.com. If this is the first time you've done it, you have to create yourself an account. Indeed, you can use your Google account. If you habitually are logged into Google on your computer, you can use that, or you can use your Microsoft account, your personal sdccd.edu Microsoft account. So it's very easy to get logged in to get access to Clipchamp. If I click try it for free, this computer knows I've already got a Clipchamp account that's linked to my personal sdccd.edu Microsoft account. So if I click try for free, it's just going to log me in. The same thing that would have happened if I clicked the login button there. And here's the home page for Clipchamp. It gives you some templates that you can use, which I haven't really found particularly useful, but you can start with one of those. And if this is the first time you've used it, there'll be an offer up here, a plea to synchronize your Clipchamp account with your Microsoft account, which is fine. You can do that or not as you please. It really won't make that much difference in using the software. But once you get here, you'll see, if you've done it before, if you've used this before, you'll see videos that you've worked on already, video editing projects, which are saved automatically as you create them in Clipchamp. You don't have to worry about losing your work or anything. And if you start working on an editing project and don't get all the way through it in one session and close Clipchamp and come back, Clipchamp will remember where you were. We'll still have that project ready to go, and you can just bring it back up and pick up where you left off. But to get started, all you have to do is click this blue button up here that says create a video. About as simple as it can be. And up comes the Clipchamp interface. Now, this looks a little intimidating at first, but we're going to go through it and see how to use each part of it, and how to go through and create an editing project, and how to carry it through to the point where you export your edited video and have it available for sharing. The account is free. The only thing you get, if you pay for it, the only thing I can see of any real import is that you get the ability to store your videos and your intermediate versions of your videos and so on online. That's not necessarily a good thing if you don't have a really good internet connection. There are also a couple of features in the software that are in the system that you don't have access to unless you pay, but they're not particularly important. So once we click create a video, as I just did, we go right there. You saw that. We go to the Clipchamp. Clipchamp. That's the only problem with it. It's hard to say 3 times in quick succession. Well, here's the Clipchamp interface with a project in progress. So you can see a little bit more about what the different parts of the screen do. First off, on the far left here, you have this, I'll call it a function menu. I'm not sure what Microsoft calls it, but it's a bunch of icons that give you access to different capabilities within the editor. And we'll see several of those. We'll use several of those as we go through today. You have a media bin here, which is where the videos and still images and audio files that you're going to combine together in this editing project are stored and accessible to you. And there are a variety of ways of getting those media objects, mostly short video clips or pictures, still images there. There are various ways of getting those into the editor, and we'll see that in a minute, but that's where you find them. There's a preview or window or canvas here, which allows you to see what your video is going to look like when it's as you go through an editing. You'll see the impact of different edits and so on, and you'll see as you build the editor project, you're going to see what it's going to look like to your viewers. Central to any video editor is the timeline. Okay, we all know what a timeline is. You know, you got time, you got this horizontal bar going from left to right. On the left side is earlier times, the right later times. The left side, the left end of a video editor timeline is time 0, the beginning of the video. And then as you move to the right, you move further into the video. And the timeline is graduated in seconds, minutes, and if you have a very long video, hours. And Clipchamp will handle videos that are hours long. We are not going to be working with hours-long videos today because that takes longer. And I don't want you to have to sit there while Clipchamp is chewing away on some edit or something like that. We want to keep this fairly quick so that you all can get to your weekend. But the timeline is probably the critical part of the interface. And then when you get everything the way you like it and your video project, your editing project is looking good, you can export this video to your local computer or to a variety of different online video hosting services. And we'll see how to do that. So this is basically what we're looking at on the Clipchamp interface. All right, so let's, the first thing we'll have to do, if we're staring at this interface here, here's our media bin, and it's empty. We got to have some media, some video, some still images, maybe some audio files. You can also incorporate like background audio, music, things like that into your editing project very easily in Clipchamp. But we got to get that stuff in. So how do we do that? Well, we can import media that we already have, video files, audio files, still image files, into Clipchamp. Very simply, we just go to this plus sign here in the white circle. That's your Add Media tool. And you click on that, and you're given a number of places from which you can import video, like Google Drive, if you happen to have video out there or whatever. Or from Zoom, you can actually pull your Zoom cloud recordings in directly here. You can pull video from your phone. But the most common thing to do is browse on your computer for some video and still images and audio that you need for your editing project. Or you can drag
Dave.
and drop those files right onto here. Yes.
Yeah, so is the Clipchamp a video editor only, or is that also a video recorder?
Wait for the next slide.
Okay.
Good question.
Okay.
Yes, it's also, you can also create video within Clipchamp, and we're going to do that. That's not even the next slide. That's the next bullet on this slide.
Okay.
So very, very good. But let's say we already have some video or some still images ready to go that we want to bring into Clipchamp. We just browse for those files. That opens up our file manager, File Explorer on the PC, or the Finder on the Mac. Again, this thing works just as well on the Mac as it does on the PC, which is another requirement for any decent video editor that we're going to use at the district. And here's some files that I'm going to need in this little editing project I'm going to demonstrate for you. I happen to have looked at that just before I got started here. So this is the window that automatically opened up in the file manager, but I might have to navigate through my files here to find these things. Go to videos, and I've got a Clipchamp folder here. That's a good idea to do. And then I've got a Clipchamp seminar folder, and there are the files that I need for this, that I already have created that I need for this project. So to import them, all I have to do is select them, and I can select multiple files at the same time, and then just click open. And bada bing, there they are in the media bin. So there's nothing to getting those files into Clipchamp. It's easier than opening a Word document in most cases. All right, so we've imported some, and this is a, right here, let's see, you're there, you're seeing the right one. This is a still image, which we can use. This, anything that has a little time code on it, a length code, is a video. So I've got a still image and 2 videos here ready to put on my timeline. We'll see how to do that in a moment. Not much to it. But as Sam anticipated, oh, here's the interface that we just saw. You can also create video within Clipchamp. It's more than just a video editor. It's also a video production tool. And you can easily create the most common sorts of video that you might use in an instructional video. You can record video from your webcam, or record your screen, your computer screen, and do what's called screencasting, which is especially useful in instructional video because it allows you to show students how to do things or how to navigate things like your Canvas course. You can use this to create a Canvas, a course tour for your Canvas course, so your students know how to operate your Canvas course and how to find things and how to navigate it. You can show people how to, show your students how to use a piece of software that they're going to need to use in your class, or how to do just about anything, or present material from just about any subject area by pulling up content on your PC and recording it and talking about it. And that's all possible through Clipchamp. So Clipchamp has the potential to be a one-stop shop for instructional video production. You could do almost everything you need to do in Clipchamp, and it does it very well. It does it easily. And then it drops the video right into the Clipchamp editor so you can work with it and combine it with other elements in an editing project. And let's see. We'll come back to that in a minute. All right, so let's go back and do that. There's a, excuse me, a record and create button right below the media bin button here. And if I click on that in the function menu here, I see that I can record my computer screen and my webcam simultaneously, or I can record just the camera or just the screen. And I even have the capability to type in some text and have Clipchamp convert that to synthesized speech.
This is amazing.
I haven't really tried that yet. I haven't found a good reason to do that, but it
Can
has.
you choose a male voice or female voice?
I'm sorry?
Can you choose female voice or male voice?
I don't know. I haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with just a little camera recording. I just click this button here, and it brings up my a recorder, a webcam recorder. Right now, this webcam recorder is using the same virtual camera that I'm using in Zoom, and that doesn't work real well, as you see. So I need to switch to another camera here. Let's see if this will work. Oh, shoot. Actually, another application is actually not using that. So I'll switch back to the OBS virtual camera and switch OBS to a different video source, which is just me. Or maybe me and Hawaii background. Okay. Now, I need to share, in order to make sure you continue to see what I'm doing here, I need to share my Zoom screen, and I need to share that particular window or that particular monitor with you. So now you're seeing my my recorder, my Clipchamp recorder interface here. Let me clean up this image a little bit. That'll do. Okay, so the scenario I'm going to work with here in this project is that I'm going to create a screencast tutorial showing students and faculty how to log into Canvas at the district. I just needed a topic that was short, where I could create a very short video that we didn't have to spend a lot of time editing. But rather than just starting to record the screen and so on, I wanted to make the video a little more personable by starting out with a little talking head introduction to my tutorial. The editor is really, really simple to use, or not the editor, I'm sorry, the recorder is quite simple. You've got a big red record button here. You may, if you have multiple video cameras on your computer, you may have to choose the one you want to use. And you want to make sure that you choose a microphone that you know is working. If you need to check that, you can just click that button there. And I've got a lot of different audio sources on this machine, but this one is the one that I'm using. That's my best microphone. So I want to make sure I've got that one selected. It does tell you that your recording time is limited to 30 minutes. I don't view that as a bad thing. If your instructional video that you're recording is more than 30 minutes, the chances that your students are actually going to watch it is pretty low. So that's really more of a good practice than it is a limitation. And besides which, you know, I can record one 30-minute video, then I can record another one and knit them together in Clipchamp and so on. So it's not really a limitation. And once everything looks good and so on, all I have to do to start the recording is click this big red record button. The red button is universal, is the universal symbol for recording in video. So I'm just going to click. I'm going to get ready, get myself organized here, or get my thoughts organized. Maybe I have a script that I'm going to read from, maybe not. And let's see. Okay. Think about it. It counts you down. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this video tutorial on how to log in to the Canvas Learning Management System at the San Diego Community College District. You're going to have to learn to do this in order to access the online portions of your courses at the district. And it's real simple to do. And this tutorial is going to show you how to do it. I could have continued. Hi, everyone. Bloviating. Welcome to this video tutorial on how to log. Okay, it plays it back for you. So you can see if it recorded, you can listen to it and make sure everything's okay. You don't have to play through the whole thing. If you think it's just caca, you want to do it again, you can just click retake recording and it'll set you back to the initial recording screen again, and you just click record again and try it again. I urge you, as I always try to work this advice in anytime we're talking about video production, unless it well and truly sucks or is incorrect or inappropriate in some way, like you dropped your coffee cup on your foot and used one of the 7 words that you can't use on TV or something like that, just take it and move on. It's never going to be perfect. No video production is ever perfect. Even feature films are not perfect. So striving for perfection will only frustrate you and waste tremendous amounts of time. There's no need for it. As long as it works, take it and move on and make another. It's much better to spend that time making more videos than spending hours and hours in a futile pursuit of perfection. With video, perfect is the enemy of good. All right, I've said that. I'll get off the soapbox. And I'm going to save it and edit it. I am given the opportunity to save that video clip. I need to do that so that Clipchamp can continue to use it, that recording that I just made. It gives you a default file name that gives you the time and date that you created it, and tells you it's a webcam recording, but probably you want to give it a little bit more mnemonic name so you can figure out what it was later on if you need it again. I'm going to open up, and you have to decide where to save it. So I'm just going to call this tutorial introduction. Clipchamp creates what are called WebM videos. It's a Microsoft specific video format, but one that will play in, will work fine in Clipchamp. And when you export your video, your final edited project from Clipchamp, it's going to be exported as a standard MPEG-4 or MP4 video, which will work with every hosting site in the world. It's the most standard sort of video, digital video file. So don't worry about the WebM business here. It's just the internal video type that that Clipchamp uses. So I'll save that, and there it is. Here's that video I just recorded. You can in the media bin, and Clipchamp has put it on the timeline for you. You don't even have to do that manually. It drops it onto the timeline at the position or at the beginning of the timeline by default at time 0. If we want to work with this video in the editor, I can play it. Here's my preview window. So I can play it. Hi, everyone. Welcome to, this vertical bar here is my playback or my edit cursor. It shows me where I am in the video when I'm playing it, and it shows me where things are going to happen when I start editing the video. I can mouse over that vertical line, over that cursor, and I get a little hand icon coming up, and I can click on it and drag it back and forth and move through the video quickly. That's called scrubbing. I can go back and forth so I can find where certain things are in the video that I need to mess with. But that's all there is to get to creating a video and getting it into the editor. It's all one operation. This thing is so efficient and so easy. It takes a lot of the work off you in editing. So there's a talking head video. That's all there is to getting that in there. That's useful in itself, but screen recording videos are far more useful in terms of instructional utility. You can show students how to do things in a screen recording, or a screencast as it's usually termed. And Clipchamp has a perfectly good screen recorder as well. I just go back to record and create and select a screen recording. And I get this little recorder app down here in the lower left, which you are seeing. I got a record button. I do want to make sure I'm using the right microphone again. That's one that Clipchamp doesn't show you like a little audio meter or something to show you that it's hearing you. So you have to be sure that you're using the right microphone. So you can click that little microphone icon and pick the microphone that you want to use, if you have more than one. It's always a good idea to maybe record a short screencast or something and make sure that the audio is all right and so on, then just throw that away and then do your actual recording. Again, I can only record up to 30 minutes, but when I have a video clip, it's more than 30 minutes anyway, in all probability. And if you absolutely have to, you can import that video. You can create that video in another tool like Zoom. Zoom recording can be much longer than 30 minutes, and then you can import that into here and work with it. It's just the recorder, the screen recorder and the webcam recorder will not let you record more than 30 minutes at a time. Okay, so process is pretty simple. It's going to record my screen, whatever's on my computer screen. It's going to record it in full motion. So people playing back the recording will be able to see exactly what I did. And it's going to record my voice as I talk about what I'm doing. If you're working on a computer with a single screen, you're going to have a little piece of video at the beginning where you're looking at your screencast or your Clipchamp interface. And then you're going to have to get rid of that, and I'm going to show you how to do that later. But basically, to get started, you just click the record button, and you are then given a view of every one of the monitors that you have attached to your computer. So if you have multiple monitors, like 2 monitors attached to your computer, you can choose which screen to record. And that simplifies things a little bit if you have more than one screen, but it's by no means necessary. But Clipchamp does accommodate multiple monitors very nicely. I've got 4 on this machine, and it doesn't throw up its hands and scream or anything. The screen, I'm going to operate on the assumption that you are working on a single monitor computer is the simplest possibility. So I'm going to record the screen that I have Clipchamp on right now. I select that just by clicking on it, and I get a blue line around it to show me I've selected it. And then I have a button, a blue button that lights up down here in the bottom right that's labeled Share. What it doesn't exactly tell you at this point is when you click that share, you will be recording that screen. So you better be ready. You better have your stuff together before you click share. And if you might be playing a video or something like that, and you want to record the video, the audio rather, that goes with that video, you're going to want to be sure to share your system audio. It's kind of like sharing your audio in Zoom when you're recording, when you're playing videos for your students in a Zoom class. I'm not going to be doing that here, so I'm not going to bother checking that. Okay, so the idea here is that I'm going to bring up the Canvas login screen, and I'm going to show people how to log into Canvas, and I'm going to talk about it. So I better be ready. But again, there's going to be a little setup after I start this. So I'm going to click share. And I am now recording. That's what that little blue, you can see the numbers running here. And the stop button is turned blue. So I don't know how. And okay, all this is being recorded, but not to worry. I can get rid of it later. So I need Camtasia, or Camtasia. I need Canvas up there. So there's the URL for Canvas. There's the Canvas login screen. I need a nice.
Ernie, how to prize. I did a menu pitch on your behalf.
I just muted everyone. If you have a question, please feel free to speak up. Though, remember, right now I'm recording, so hold your questions for just a minute. I'll be able to get rid of all of this. Okay, so I'm ready to go. So now and get ready to create the part of the tutorial that I'm actually going to keep. To log into Canvas at the San Diego Community College District, you need to access the Canvas login page, which is available at sdccd.instructure.com. You can find this linked to a number of pages in the web infrastructure at the district, or you can just remember it, open up a web browser, type sdccd.instructure.com into the location line of your web browser and press enter. And that will take you to the login page. Once at the login page, you'll be prompted to enter your 10-digit user ID, which is just your 10-digit student or employee ID from PeopleSoft. You'll then be prompted to enter a password. Your password is set automatically for you, though you can change it. And once you change it, you're on your own. But if you use the initial password, it is set to your 8-digit birth date, month, day, year. For instance, if your birth date were June 1st, 1998, your password would be 06 for June. The month has to have 2 digits. So if it's a single digit month, you put a 0 in front of it. So 06 is June, then 01 for the first day of the month, and then the full year, 1998. So there have to be 8 characters there. So you enter that password. and then click the login button. You'll then be taken to your Canvas dashboard, from which you can access your current courses by just clicking on the colored rectangle, the tile specific to that course. And you're ready to go. Okay, I've got a little stop sharing button at the bottom of the screen. It was actually on another monitor up to that point. So to stop the recording, I just click stop sharing. Share. And I am now recording. That's what that little, and it starts, it automatically starts playing back my recording. The numbers running here. And I play enough of it to make sure it looks like it worked. If it's a train wreck, I can start again. I had to do that a few times when I was trying to get this right this morning, or trying to practice it this morning. You can just go, you can turn around very quickly and restart the recording. But again, don't do that unless there's really a good reason to do this over again. I'm going to take that one was far from perfect, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to say save and edit. And again, I get to save the video clip that I've just recorded. I'm going to call this Canvas login screencast. This is just for my sake, so that I can figure out what this video has in it later on, and save it. And again, Clipchamp just drops it right onto the timeline. It automatically creates a new timeline track. Your timeline in this editor, and this is a multi-track editor, which is really quite sophisticated for something that's free, especially. This thing has a lot of the capability that you find in even very powerful editors like the one in Camtasia and so on. And you could be, at this point, you could be good to go. This is probably enough to meet the goal of showing people how to log into Canvas. And I can play through parts of it and share. And I am now recording. That's what that little, okay, so it just hops, the playback just hops from one video to the other. There's no break, no glitch or anything. So that's how we knit two videos together. It's just by putting them onto the timeline and butting them up against one another. They can be on different tracks. It doesn't matter which track they're on. Indeed, if I want to keep everything on one track just for certain convenience, I can click and drag a clip from one track to another. Now my video has gotten too big. My video clips have gotten, or the representation of my video clips on the timeline have gotten too big to fit on the screen here, especially with a somewhat magnified screen that I'm using so you can see things better in the Zoom meeting. But I have a scroll bar down here at the bottom that I can scroll back and forth along the timeline. So there's my my whole video. It's two clips right now, that talking head clip, the intro clip, and the screencast itself. And you've got some images in there to give you some idea of what's in the clip without having to play it. But that all looks fine. If I want to see the entire video laid out at one time, I can use this zoom to fit button here with the two little arrows on it. And if you're, I'm just noticing here, if you are using the standard view options, you may have to move your little thumbnail bar with the pictures of the different people who are in the meeting away in order to see what I'm doing right now, because I'm way over on the right-hand end of the screen. I just noticed I hadn't done that here with my my other computer here. I'm keeping track of things on. But you hit this zoom to fit icon and it zooms the timeline in. Doesn't change the times or anything like, or affect the video in any way. It just affects how Clipchamp displays the timeline to you. And you can also manually zoom in if you want to look more closely at something, or zoom out using the plus and minus sign here just above the timeline. All right, so I've got good beginnings here, but there's junk in these video clips. We call flash sometimes. It's video at the beginning and the end, and maybe sometimes something in the middle where you made a mistake and you started over that you want to cut out. Well, that's one of the fundamental capabilities of any video editor, is to allow you to cut out a piece of video. Think of a piece of film, a piece of movie film, where you actually take a pair of scissors and cut a chunk of it out and then stick the cut ends back together. That's what you can do with Clipchamp. And it'll help if I magnify the timeline a little bit to do this. So I'm just going to move my playback cursor back to the very beginning of the first clip and play through until I get to the point where to the video that I want to keep. This stuff at the beginning is, hi everyone. Well, there was just a little bit there at the beginning. I don't know, I could get away with not, but that little, I'm not quite sure what that smirk on my face is about. So I want to start about right there where I opened my mouth. So how do I get, and let's magnify this a little bit so you can see that there is a little bit of the video before this point in the video, this point in the clip that I want to get rid of. So how do I get rid of it? Well, I just cut it. And it's not hard to figure which control icon to use for that. There's my split tool, a little pair of scissors. That will cut a clip at the point where the playback cursor is located, or the edit cursor is located. So I just click that. And now if I move this cursor out of the way, you can see I've got two clips where I had one before. And this little piece I can get rid of just by selecting it, by clicking on it and clicking the delete button, or I can just press the delete key on my keyboard. That's usually a little faster, but either one works fine. All right, that's gone. So what did that give us? Well, that gave us some black at the beginning here. I don't want that. So I want this video clip to start at time 0. That's no problem. I can just click on it, hold the mouse button, and drag it over. Now that opened up a little gap here between this clip and the next one. I don't want that, but I can then just drag this clip over too and make sure they're butted right up against one another. I can make sure that's true by clicking on the timeline at the point where I want to start playing this and see. Sure. Oops, well, it looks like there's some stuff at the end there that I don't want either. Well, that's all right, I can fix that. I'm going to show you how to. Okay, you know, where I look over to the side and so on, I don't want that in there. So I can split the clip again, delete that little piece that I click on to select, and then drag this one over. So now the transition between those two. Share. And I am now recording. Well, that looked fine, but now there's junk at the beginning of this one I want to get rid of. All right. So I can probably just scrub over quickly and find more or less where I want this screencast to start. Now this is just setup that I was doing, and I had to record that. So there I am at the beginning of the there I am at the login screen. I need a nice Oops, got some extra noise in there. I don't want either. I just muted everyone. If you have a question, I don't want this in there. Speak up though. Remember, right now I'm recording, so hold your questions for just a minute. I'll be able to get rid of all. Okay, so I'm ready to go. So now I get ready to create part of the tutorial that I'm actually going to keep. All right, that sounds like more or less the right spot to cut that. So I just cut it. I select the part I want to get rid of, the first part of that screencast, and I just hit the delete key. That leaves me with a big black spot. We'll zoom to fit. And I don't want this big hunk of black in between. So I click and drag this clip over until it butts up against the first one. And while I'm at it, I probably need to check and see if there's anything at the end here that I need to get rid of. That looks like about done, specific to that course. And you're ready to go. And you're ready to go, I said. Okay, that means that everything from here on out, this portion of this screencast, I want to get rid of. Same process again, just split, select the piece I want to get rid of, and either press the delete key or or click on the delete icon. And now I have cleaned up my clips so that there's no excess video on either end. And if I needed to, I could have gone into the middle of the clip and cut a piece out where I made a mistake or something just as easily. That process is called trimming. And it's one of the fundamental things that you need to be able to do with a video editor in order to make sure that the video is clean and doesn't have a bunch of random stuff that you don't want your clients or your viewers to see. So, I mean, I've really got a functional tutorial at this point. I could just export this, put it somewhere online where people can get to it and share it with my students or with my colleagues or whomever I need to share it with. So at 11 o'clock, at 1 hour, at the 1 hour mark in this tutorial, you learned everything you absolutely have to know to use Clipchamp in all the basics. But there's some more fun stuff that we can do that I'm going to show you. But if you've gotten this far and you're fairly happy and you're ready to try it yourself, you've learned probably everything you really have to know to use Clipchamp. But I've got some other video over here that I haven't used yet. And maybe
can you try the voice to?
Pardon?
Can you try the text to voice?
I tell you that I'll be happy to piddle with that later, but right now I want to make sure I've got time to get through the project that I've got planned here. Okay, and that's not a part of this project. Maybe you answered this. Can I download edited video to my computer? Yes, that's part of the export process. That happens automatically when we click this export button up here. So we're not going to do that just yet. But yes, you're going to end up with a copy of your edited video on your computer. And you can also, at more or less the same time, send the video to, with just one more click, you can send the video to wherever you want to put the video online, or at least you have several options about where you might host this video online. And we'll see all that in a minute. Okay, this video starts and it just starts with me talking. Hi, everyone. And I do introduce the subject matter and so on, but I might like to have maybe a little bit of branding in there that identifies the source of the video and who created it and things like that, or what organization it's done on behalf of. And maybe it's also nice to have maybe a title slide that shows the title of the video and what's going to be covered. Those are fairly typical things. Again, they're not really necessary in this case, but it'll look cooler. So I have a little branding video here that I created in another tool. I didn't create this in Clipchamp, but it's something I've got already. And I might want to put that at the beginning of the timeline here instead of the this talking head video, or in front of this talking head video. To do that, I'm going to have to move that video over to make room for the new video, which only needs 9 seconds, I guess. But I can do that easily by just moving each clip like so. And then I'll have a place to drag this onto the timeline. I don't have to do that. That's no problem here because I've only got 2 clips on the timeline so far. But in a complex editing project, you might have anywhere from 3 or 4 to a dozen clips on the timeline. And having to move each one independently takes a lot of time. So what you can do is you can select them by just starting up above the timeline here and clicking and dragging and selecting both selecting into both clips. And now I can move them back and forth together. That's a really nice, sophisticated feature for a video editor at this price point, which is free. Remember, I have not paid Microsoft anything. So how do I get this video that I've imported into my media bin onto the timeline? Well, it can't be much simpler. You just click on the little icon here that previews that video and drag it down and drop it on the timeline, put it where you want it. And here's what that looks like. Just a little branding video. You certainly don't have to do that, but I'm just trying to demonstrate as many different capabilities of the editor as possible. Also, it'd be nice to have a title slide that had the title of the presentation on. I can do that very easily. The most efficient way to do that I've found is in PowerPoint. I can just start a PowerPoint presentation. I don't know where my cursor has gone. That's curious. Too many things moving here. I think I can get this. I want to take this professional development template. So I have a little power. There we go. I got my cursor back. This is a slide background that I like to use for a variety of things. That's obviously the background I'm using for the PowerPoint presentation here. I'm just going to delete these extra slides and go with this first one. By the way, speaking of PowerPoint, let's go back and take a look at that PowerPoint presentation. Okay, we've seen recording video. I'm creating the title slide right now, so I'm where I need to be. I just wanted to catch up and make sure I hadn't forgotten something there. So let's bring Clipchamp back up and bring this blank presentation. No, that's not the one I want. This blank presentation up in PowerPoint. And I'm just going to take this slide and I'm going to take this title here and just type logging into Canvas at the SDCCD. It's the title of my presentation. I don't need that school year stuff, so I'll just delete that. Okay, this makes a perfectly good title slide if I can get it into the editor. How can I do that? Well, it's pretty simple. With PowerPoint, I can save a PowerPoint slide as an image file. It's a still image, a JPEG or a PNG. You can do JPEGs and GIFs. I'm not sure if you can do PNGs or not, but JPEGs are fine. So I just save this, save as. I'm going to put it in on this computer, and I'm going to put it in that same folder that I've been keeping stuff that has to do with this presentation. I'll go to videos, to the Clipchamp, to my Clipchamp folder, which I created. I'm just trying to keep files in one place where I can find them, and go to the Clipchamp seminar. And I don't want to save this as a PowerPoint presentation. I want to save it as a JPEG or a PNG. It'll do both, or a TIFF. Those are all acceptable graphic file formats. One's about as good as another for this purpose. So I'll just take this JPEG, that's more standard. And I'll, there's the name of it, that's fine. And I'll save it. And it asks me which slides do you want to export? Well, there's only one in there, so it doesn't matter whether I say just this one or all slides, but I just want that one slide. So, okay, well, I'm done with PowerPoint. You can get that out of the way. Now I just need to import that slide into my media bin. I can do that the same way I did earlier by clicking on the white circle with the plus sign here and browse for my files. And here I am. There's that logging into Canvas slide. It's a still image, not a video. You can put still images into your video just as easily as, or into your project just as easily as you can video. So I'll select that and click open to bring that up. All right, there it is in my media bin. How do I get it on? How do I get it on the timeline? Same way I've gotten other things onto the timeline. I'll click and drag it over. And with a still image, you can display it for any length of time. Let's zoom in a little bit here to the beginning of the timeline. And I can, this video here has a set length. I can't really mess with that very easily, but the time, or if I do so at my peril, because I can change the you can end up sounding like Alvin and the Chipmunks and things like that if you mess with the duration of a video clip. That's an advanced technique. But here I can make this title slide display on the timeline for any length of time I wish, just by dragging it longer or shorter here. Let's see how long that is. That's maybe a little short. Let's give people time to read that and think about what it says. That's good. All right. Now I've still got the rest of my video down here, the rest of my clips. I'm going to zoom to fit again, just for convenience sake. I'm going to select those. Whoop, careful. Select those and drag them back. And then now I've got this little promotional video and a title slide and my talking head introduction and my screencast all laid out, put together. Let's see what part of that looks like anyway. There's my branding. And then there's my title slide. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this video tutorial. Okay, well, that works, but it's kind of boring watching this stuff. Be nice to have a little sound with that. No problem. Clipchamp, even free Clipchamp, comes with a fairly significant library of free audio clips that you can use. You find those under the Music and SFX Special Effects button sound effects, I should say, sound effects button on the function menu here. Just pull that up and you can look at all clips or just music or just sound effects. Well, I want music, so, and I can preview these. I don't know. That's a little too bouncy, maybe.
Dave, I didn't hear anything.
Let's see. Probably be a good thing to, oh, I didn't share my music, to share my sound. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. Now let's try that. Okay, then that might be all right. Let's try this one. I like that one better. I've got a bunch to go through, so you can spend a lot of time selecting audio. I'm just going to take this one. Once I select the audio clip I want, I can add it to the timeline with this little green plus button here, and I'll get that button with any of them if I mouse over. So I'm going to add this one to the timeline. And there's a special audio track down here for it. And let's see how that goes. Hi, everyone. Well, that's more fun. But on the other hand, I don't want it playing behind me. It's hard enough to hear me anyway. So I need that audio clip to stop playing once the title slide disappears. That's no problem. Let me zoom to fit again. And with this audio clip, unlike the video clips, I can just click and drag it. Yeah, if I move my mouse cursor over the end of the clip, I get a little double-headed arrow. I can click and drag that back to where it's going to stop playing before I start talking. Hi, everyone. Okay. So that's a little bit easier to watch. It entertains us a little more. And then there's the rest of the rest of it. Okay. This ends rather abruptly, and you're ready to go. I kind of tried to give you a little send-off, but maybe it'd be nice to have a little what they call an outro, or a little ending talking head clip here. I think I have one. Yeah, there it is. I can just take that and drag it onto the timeline, put it at the end. This stuff's so easy and it's so cool, specific to that course. And you're ready to go. And that's the nickel tour of Clipchamp. You're now ready to take this free, capable video editor and go create. Enjoy. The sound's a little off there, and there's a limit to what I can do with that in Clipchamp, because that was recorded on my iPhone. And I'm actually gonna take this one out for the moment. I can just take it off the timeline by selecting it and clicking delete. And I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the media bin too, because I want to show you how I got that in there. I recorded that video, and I'm going to kill my share here for a second. Greatly daring, so you can see me again. And I'm gonna bring back that editor screen behind me. Okay. This editor has the easiest way I've ever seen of getting a video from your phone, be it an iPhone, it's supposed to work on an iPhone or Android, that I've ever seen. It really makes it easy for you to take your smartphone, the videos from your smartphone, which you carry with you everywhere, and you can record video with it. You can record yourself. You can record instructionally useful video that you just happen upon in walking around and so on. It's a marvelous video tool, but the only challenge in using it with programs like Clipchamp is getting the video into the editor. And this Clipchamp has the best solution for that I've ever seen. You click the little plus sign again at the top of the function menu to let you import video into Clipchamp, and there's a blue button that says from phone. If you click that, you get a QR code. One of those things like you see on menus all over the place these days. The restaurant makes you scan the QR code with your phone to get the menu, so they don't have to hand you a physical menu. Well, the QR codes can be used for a lot of things. Basically, they're web addresses. So what I do here is, let's see if I can show you what I'm doing here. Okay, got my little pan tilt zoom camera here. Got to get it over. Oh shoot, that's right in the way, isn't it? Well, you can get an idea of what's going on here. I just move this up, move my phone up to the screen. I better unlock it first. Okay, I just move it up close to the screen and open up my camera icon and get that Clipchamp QR code in the image, let the camera see that. And when I do that, the phone recognizes that as a web address, as clipchamp.com. So I just have to reach over while I'm holding it steady and tap clipchamp.com. Come on. There we go. When that happens, what you see on the phone is this. Okay. It is prompting you to import media from your phone to Clipchamp. Automatically, that QR code caused that to happen. So all you have to do is select media. You tap where it says select media, and you get an option to pull from your photo library on the iPhone, photo library, or you could actually take a video, record a video right now if you didn't already have it recorded, or you could choose something from your files folder on the phone. But automatically, when I record something, it goes to on the iPhone, it goes to my photo library. So I'm just going to tap that. And it pulls up my photo library. And the most recent video I've recorded is in the upper left-hand corner here. So I just tap on that. The video is, well, I have a chance to make sure that I got the right one. And I just tap the little choose option there, and the video is compressed. And just that fast, it's sent to my computer and to Clipchamp. There's the video. And actually, that's an earlier copy of the same video. So I'm going to rename this. Notice that's an MOV, an Apple movie file. Clipchamp handles those just fine. It'll handle most common video files. So you can put video from almost any source into Clipchamp. But in this case, this is going to be my login tutorial outro. And there it is. It's in my media bin. That is so easy it's so easy in Clipchamp to import video from your phone into Clipchamp. And I have a copy of that video on my computer as well, if I want to use it in another project later. And there's just no easier way to get video from your phone to your computer than I know of. But anyway, there's my video clip. I just click and drag that over now. I'm gonna put it at the end of this video. So when I finish that course, and you're ready to go. And that's the nickel. Well, there's a little bit of flash there. I don't want that. So I'm going to cut that out. That looks all right. Let me magnify a little bit so I can see what I'm doing better. And I'm going to cut, delete, and shift over. That's called a ripple delete. I haven't figured out a way to make Clipchamp do that automatically. A lot of editors will do a ripple delete. That is, they'll delete a selected clip and then they'll move all the clips to the right over automatically. This one doesn't do that. You have to do it manually. At least I haven't figured out how to get it to do it. But that's not a big deal. And that's the nickel tour of Clipchamp. You're now ready to take this free, capable video editor and go create. Enjoy. And that's it. That's as much. That's all I'm going to add to this video. I do want to cut. There's a little piece at the end. Yeah, where I reach down to turn off the recorder. I don't want that. So I'll just cut and delete off the end there. And my project is getting pretty close to being done. If I, I'm sure you're seeing, yeah, if I zoom to fit, there's what I've got, 1, 2, well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips and an audio clip. Now, I could keep going. I could keep adding stuff to this and tinkering with it and so on. But one of the most important things in using a video editor is knowing when to quit. When it's good enough, when you've reached the point of diminishing returns. I'm going to declare victory and retire here. We're going to say, this is good enough. Except for one thing. When I jump, when the video jumps between different clips, hi everyone, it does what's called a cut. That is, one video stops playing and the next one starts playing instantly, and it's a sharp transition between the two videos, between the two video clips, I should say. That's not bad much of the time. Indeed, in a lot of cases, you want a cut like that. But there are other transitions that are a little smoother. They're particularly useful when you go from one major part of a video to another. Now, I kind of like it having having the branding video play, the audio, and then just having that cut. That cut's fine. But this next transition is maybe a little abrupt because I'm going from one major part of the video to another major part of it. That's a little abrupt. I can fix that. I have in my function menu here, if I scroll down, a transitions button. If I click that, I get this pretty good selection of transitions of all sorts. If you want to get an idea of what the transition looks like, you just mouse over it and it will show you what it's going to look like, sort of. The classic transition, the one you want to use more often than any other, indeed, it's the second most common transition in most videos after a cut, an abrupt cut, is called it's called various different things. In this case, it's called a crossfade, where one video fades out and the other one fades up over top of it. That's the one I want to use between my title slide and my talking head video. So how do I do that? Well, I just click and drag this crossfade, click on it and start moving it. And when I do that, I see little squares with plus signs in them appear at different points in the video where I could use that transition. Let me, let's enlarge this a little bit so it's a little easier to see. I click, I drag the crossfade. Well, I could use it at any of these interfaces between the different clips, but I'm going to put it right here. And all I do is just drag it right over that symbol there, which the symbol enlarges so you know you're on it. And then I let go. And now the little symbol changes to a transition symbol. And let's see what that, we can get a rough idea of what that transition is going to look like in the final video by just playing over it. Hi, everyone. That's smoother and a little less, it emphasizes the fact that you've gone from one part of the video, major part of the video, to another part. And I can just keep doing that. These wilder transitions can be somewhat distracting, so you don't want to overuse them, but they're too much fun not to try. So let's try a circular wipe here. I can drag that one over. I'll put it in between the talking head video and the screencast. Okay. And maybe one more here between the screencast and the outro, the lead out. Let's use something. Let's try something wild. And you're ready. And that's the okay, you can have a lot of fun with transitions. Remember, they can be distracting. You don't want to use them, particularly if you have a series of transitions, one following another quite rapidly or quite within a limited time interval. You don't want to make them too wild. That's where cuts are good, but where you don't have to add a transition, in other words. But they're fun to play with. So we're going to
control how fast or how slow the transition takes place.
I'm sorry?
Can you control how fast or
how fast the transition is? I believe
place?
So. Let me see here. Yeah. If I select the transition, I've got a little duration button up here. And I can speed it up. I can slow it down or speed it up. Good question.
Slow that last one. It looks like you're burning in hell.
And that's the nickel tour. Okay, so now I think we're good enough. Let's go back and look at the my PowerPoint presentation and see if I've forgotten anything.
I remember earlier analog Canon camcorders. They have a feature called dissolve. So similar to the crossfade. Yeah. And you can try different transitions. And if you don't like the one you try, if you don't like the look of it, you just try another one until there's a lot of trial and error in editing. You're trying things, you see how they look. And if you don't like it, you get rid of that and you try something else. Oh, and there's something I didn't mention. I haven't happened to have to use because I was luckier than usual here, but there's also an undo button in the editor, which will take out the last thing you did and take you back to the status of the video before that last edit you made. So if you try something and you don't like it, you just undo it and try something different. And there's always a lot of trial and error in editing until you get things looking just the way you want them and sounding just the way you want them. All right, but I think we're getting there. We've created title slides in PowerPoint, and we've used stock audio clips. Next slide. We've assembled the video by laying out the media on the timeline. We've trimmed the clips as necessary. I've added some background audio, though that's certainly not required. And I've inserted transitions. Is this session recorded? Yes, I am recording. And now as I say, I'm going to say this is good enough. Now I need to export the video, the editor project, I should say, into a single video that I can then share with my clientele. It's automatically going to export it to a local video file and store it on my hard drive. But I can also automatically upload it to a variety of hosting services, including Google Drive, which most of us have access to for free, YouTube, my particular favorite, TikTok, do you some little dance video or something like that and put it up on TikTok. You can save it to your OneDrive, to Dropbox, to Pinterest. Box is another storage service, or LinkedIn. If you want to put a professional a demo video or something up there for to introduce yourself to potential employers or colleagues or whatever. So you can automatically send the video right from Clipchamp without having to get out of Clipchamp and go and find the file and upload it and so on. You can do this automatically. One thing that is noticeably missing here is Canvas Studio. I can't send this to Canvas Studio automatically. If I want to put this video that I'm going to render or export into Canvas Studio, I just have to find the video file on my local hard drive and upload it to Canvas Studio manually. But I, as often as not anymore, use YouTube anyway. So let's see how that export process works. Yeah, we've got time for that. All right. So let's go back to Clipchamp. And we've got our, I'll just go back to my media bin for there.
Dave,
Yes.
if you put it on YouTube, could you later put it on Canvas Studio to show your
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Absolutely. So I've got this video ready to go. Got it looking, sounding pretty much the way I want it. I just go to the export button here in the upper right. It's hard to miss. The first thing it asks me is, how high a quality do you want this video to be? Well, I want it to be as good a quality as I can get. With the free version of, at least with the free version of Clipchamp, high definition, 1080p is the best I can do. That's good. That's great. I can't output 4K, in other words, but there's really probably no need for that because it's going to get dumbed down by YouTube or whatever anyway. So 1080p is good. YouTube will handle that nicely. So will Canvas Studio. It'll look great, sound great. So I'm going to select the best option. Now that does mean the file is going to be a little bit bigger. I don't care. YouTube I have unlimited storage on YouTube. You have unlimited storage on Canvas Studio. Whatever you're going to do with that, my advice would be generally to pick the highest quality available, which is standard high definition 1080p video. So I select that, and immediately, not telling me it's going to do that, Clipchamp starts the export process. And it gives you a little progress meter so you can see where this is, how long this is going to take. And it gives you a rough idea of how long it's going to take. This process is also called rendering. You're squeezing the fat out of the video, or rendering or boiling the fat out of the video, making it smaller and making it into a format that will stream across the internet. And of course, you're applying all the edits that you did in the editor, and you're knitting everything together. So you're going to produce and it gives you a preview of what the video is going to look like over on the right. So you can kind of get an idea of what that's more a pacifier than anything else to keep you entertained while the rendering is taking place. The faster your computer is, the more memory you have, the shorter the time this will take. Also, the shorter the video and the less complex the edits were, the faster the render. If you're doing this with a 2-hour-long Zoom video, you're going to be there for a while. You're not going to sit there and wait. You're just going to walk away, go have lunch, whatever, sleep, come back later, and the video will have the render will have finished. I did a 2-hour Zoom video, rendered it on this machine. It took an hour and a half, something like that, to render it out. That's one thing. The rendering engine in Clipchamp is not the fastest one I've ever seen, but it's good. The result is good. It just takes it a little longer. So you just wait. There is also an option with Clipchamp, which I have deliberately not taken advantage of, to install the Clipchamp editor, a version of the Clipchamp editor, onto your local hard drive, so that it operates a little bit, it's supposed to operate a little bit more rapidly and snappily. I really haven't, I tried it both ways. I haven't noticed that much difference. So I just haven't bothered to do I'm not going to bother to do the install. So I do have to wait this out. Unfortunately, we have time. This is a fairly short video and a very powerful computer, so this is likely to take you longer. Though, to tell you the truth, this step took less time on my little entry-level Mac Mini computer, the Apple computer, than it did on the very powerful Windows computer. I'm not quite sure why. I think the M1 chip, Apple's new processor chip, is optimized for things like video production and so on. So you can do this with a MacBook or with a Mac Mini, or especially with a new Mac Studio, that very powerful little pizza box computer they've just come out with. But I did the initial tutorials that I did on Clipchamp on my Mac Mini, just to see how well it would work on the Mac, to make sure I wasn't recommending it to people who I knew were Mac users who would not have as good an experience, but it works great on the Mac. It's rocking right along.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of installed version?
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Oh, what are the pluses and minuses for the installed version and the web version?
I haven't seen much difference, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
It's supposed to work a little faster and a little better if you install it, but I haven't had any trouble with the cloud, just using it in the cloud. So in the browser, so I haven't bothered. And we're almost there. Bingo. And here's our final output, our end product of this editing project. I'm just going to keep it in this same folder here, and I'm going to rename it as Final Edit Master. And put that here and save it. And bingo, I have a copy of it on my own computer. There's this button here that says save to your computer. I'm not quite sure what it's there for because it does that anyway for me. So I don't know. It's on my computer. I could, if I want it, I forgot to change the name of the video from untitled in Clipchamp from untitled video to, so I'll just do login tutorial edit master here. That won't change the name of the file I saved, but it'll help me if I ever come back use this again. Let's edit. That's good. Now, I've got it on my local computer, but I can't share it with anybody from there. So I've got to I've got to put it somewhere online in order to be able to share it with someone. I can go and find that, easily find that saved version of it on my computer and upload it manually to YouTube or Canvas Studio or anyone, or Vimeo, or any one of a number of other hosting services that you can use. But if I just want to put it on YouTube, which is about as good a solution, about as good a hosting service as you can find, I can just click on upload to YouTube. Clipchamp has figured out that I'm logged into my Google account on this computer already. If I weren't, it would prompt me to log into my Google account. And that gives me access to YouTube. I want to clean up that name there. And I'm just going to call this, for the title for YouTube, I'm going to call this logging, and I'm going to actually try to type it properly, into Canvas at the SDCCD. The description by default is this video is made with Clipchamp. I can get rid of that. I can change it, whatever, I don't care. I can set the YouTube privacy. The default is unlisted, which is generally what you want, or I can make it public if I wanted to share it with the world. You rarely want to make it private. That's too restrictive for an instructional video. So unlisted is good. I don't know if it picked that because that's the last choice I made or if that's just the default, but unlisted is good. That means that no one can see it unless you provide them with the link to the video in a link in Canvas or in an email or whatever. But it means that nobody has to log into YouTube or anything like that to view it. They just have to have the link. So unlisted is generally ideal for instructional video and that's put on YouTube. I can categorize it if I like. That makes it a little easier for me to find later, maybe, or for other people to find. That only really matters if you're making it public and people may be able to find educational and can search for educational videos. It automatically picks some keywords for you to help people search, again, if the video is public and can be searched for. This doesn't matter with an unlisted video. And in order to comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, you have to specify that our instructional videos are generally not made for kids. By kids, I mean people younger than 13. So no, that eliminates a number of hoops you have to jump through otherwise with YouTube. So If asked if you made it for kids, say no. And then I just click upload. It starts uploading, kind of gives me a little progress meter there. Well, not a progress meter, but it lets me know that it's actually doing something. So I don't wonder if it's not working. I could change my mind and cancel it at this point. I don't want to do that. All right, it's finished uploading. How long that takes, of course, depends on the size of the video and the speed of your internet connection. And I get a link, the share link for that video, the watch link. I can copy that to my clipboard, and I can open up a new tab in my browser and paste that into the address line and press enter. And nope, YouTube's not ready yet. The video has to be processed once it's uploaded to YouTube. That'll take a few moments. So we just wait on that if we want to look and see what the video actually looks like online. We'll try that here in just a moment. I'll come back in a moment. And let's go look at the PowerPoint presentation and see if I've forgotten anything here. Nope, that's it. We're done. Just a couple more things before we go back and look at it. This all, we worked with very short video clips today for convenience, and so that we didn't have to wait a long time in between various operations. If you're going to put your Zoom recordings into this and edit them, things will take a little longer, particularly the render. That's going to take hours probably to render it out, particularly if your computer is not the newest, fastest thing around. It'll work, it'll just take it a while. So you may want to allow for that. Don't leave that too late. Excuse me. What else to say? The quality is going to be, go ahead.
When you say it takes longer, will it take as long as it did to actually create it?
No,
or
no,
just longer, but not as long? Okay,
not that long, probably. Well, again, that depends on your computer to a certain extent, but probably not.
If you change your mind after you have finished editing, do you have to start all over again?
Oh no, wonderful question. That was the very next point I wanted to make. No, let's say we look at it and we see a problem that we need to fix. We look at the final product and we see something we want to change. No problem. You just go back to Clipchamp. I can get out of this production screen by clicking here where it says keep editing. And then I can click on the little menu button at the very top of the function menu here and go back to my home screen. Your files aren't synced to the cloud. I know that. They're trying to make you spend money here. I don't care. Don't show this again. And continue without worrying about that. That takes me back here. And here is my login tutorial edit master. If later on I need to come back and work on this some more, or maybe I didn't finish my project in one sitting. Maybe it was a complex editing project and I didn't have enough time or enough willpower to sit there until I was done. I can just stop it wherever I am. Clipchamp saves the project automatically as you create it. So you don't have to worry about forgetting to save the project. It'll be there waiting for you. You just click on it, it reloads it, and you're right back at the point where you were when you quit. And you can continue working from here. And that project will remain in your Clipchamp library indefinitely until you remove it,
until you delete it deliberately, which you can do, or maybe you start running out of space in your free Clipchamp account. I don't know how much space they give you for that, so I'm not sure how long that might take, but you could always get back in and continue editing or fix something that you noticed in the final video without having to start over. It'll be
Dave,
way
a
too-
question.
Yes.
So you showed earlier, if you want to merge some music with your video, you can take a selection from a limited source provided you by Clipchamp. But I think the richest source would be YouTube. So if you want to use the music from a YouTube video as a background music for your recording, what would be the workflow?
Well, first off, you'd have to extract, if it were your YouTube video that you'd put up there.
No, you just maybe find some symphony
Find
recording.
something. Well, for starters, you'd have to rip that video off of YouTube. You'd have to download it from YouTube. And
Okay.
to do that for a video that you don't own, you have to violate YouTube's terms of service,
Okay.
which is not likely to, YouTube's not going to send somebody after you if you do that. Okay. But it is a technical violation of
All
copyright.
right. So let's start from a different scenario.
You'd
So
have to
let's-
rip it. You'd have to rip it, which you can do technically. It's not very difficult to do. You can download the video from YouTube. You have to drop it into a video editor, which will allow you to separate out the audio track from the video, which you can do in Clipchamp. You then extract the audio, you download the audio, so you have it for use in another project. And then you can import it using the import button here. You can browse for audio files as well and bring those in and use them just as we did the audio files that were in the audio library that comes with Clipchamp. But there's another copyright violation. You're using audio that you don't know for sure is copyright cleared.
Right.
So
there are two issues.
you don't
One
want
is-
to use a Disney jingle, for instance, that way, because Disney will come for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So there are two issues. One is with YouTube and one is with the musician.
Yeah. So to do what you described, you'd have to have a really good reason, because there's several technical steps involved in getting that to work. And you have to realize that you're taking some small risk of copyright infringement. The chances of you being caught doing that are infinitesimal in most cases, unless it's Disney. And then it just becomes an ethical question for you. But
There are
also
some-
a question you have to remind yourself: a single instance of copyright infringement, if you are convicted of it, can cost you up to $35,000. So generally, you're better off, if you want music, you're better off using music that is copyright cleared and in the public domain and available for you to use legally without worry. So it'd have to be, you'd have to have a really good reason to use music and there are sites on the web where you can go and get music and sound effects that are in the public domain. You can download them and use them, and you can import them into Clipchamp and use them just the way we saw this ourselves using this little music file down here.
I think there are like a music download sites. You can download the audio file directly.
Correct.
And music are by musicians who are
No.
dead.
Be
like
very
several hundred years
careful
ago.
if you're using some of those public sites. they're notorious sources of malware. You can get your computer infected by
Okay.
using the wrong site. You want to make sure your virus and malware protection is up to date before you visit sites like that are public, that offer free audio and video clips and so on, because they are all too often used to spread malware.
Okay.
Okay, so be careful.
So for work reason, it's best to just go to the source by
Yeah,
Clipchamp.
you're safer off just using the stuff that comes with Clipchamp or with other sources. Camtasia comes with a music library as well that's copyright cleared and so on.
Dave, I'm so glad Sam mentioned music, because on my Windows 7, they used to give you, like, you came with a music library of free stuff. How do I get that stuff out? Because it should be already cleared.
I'm not, that there were various different resources and so on in earlier versions of Windows, but those are mostly gone.
But if it's still saved in my Windows 7, I should be able to extract it though, right?
You probably can, yeah.
Okay.
And those should be clear. Those should be public domain, so you shouldn't probably have any problem with them. Okay, great questions. Keep them coming. Let's take a look at our final project here. Let's see if it's finished rendering. Or, yep, there we go. And let me share this with you so you can get the sound. I'll do a Zoom share. Zoom screen share. Let's see. There it is. Okay, and I'll make sure I've got the audio shared. Yep. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this video tutorial on how to log in to the Canvas Learning Management System at the San Diego Community College District. You're going to have to learn to do this in order to access the online portions of your courses at the district. And it's real simple to do. And this tutorial is going to show you how to do it. To log into Canvas at the San Diego Community College District, you need to access the Canvas login page, which is available at sdccd.instructure.com. You can find this linked to a number of pages in the web infrastructure at the district, or you can just remember it, open up a web browser, type sdccd.instructure.com into the location line of your web browser, and press enter. And that will take you to the login page. Once at the login page, you'll be prompted to enter your 10-digit user ID, which is just your 10-digit student or employee ID from PeopleSoft. You'll then be prompted to enter a password. Your password is set automatically for you, though you can change it. And once you change it, you're on your own. But if you use the initial password, it is set to your 8-digit birth date, month, day, year. For instance, if your birth date were June 1st, 1998, your password would be 06 for June. The month has to have 2 digits. So if it's a single digit month, you put a 0 in front of it. So 06 is June. Then 01 for the first day of the month. And then the full year, 1998. So there have to be 8 characters there. So you enter that password and then click the login button. You'll then be taken to your Canvas dashboard, from which you can access your current courses by just clicking on the colored rectangle, the tile, specific to that course. And you're ready to go. And that's the nickel tour of Clipchamp. You're now ready to take this free, capable video editor and go create. Enjoy. And so you can produce professional looking, very effective instructional videos with no investment of money and a very modest investment of time needed to learn to use the Clipchamp editor. So I hope you'll have a good, fun time with that. And I'd love to hear how it goes. So we're done with my scheduled presentation, but I'm certainly happy to answer any more questions that you may have.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I missed the beginning because I had a meeting to go to. How do I get to Clipchamp, and when will you have this posted?
That's the easiest part.
Is it the way it sounds, Clipchamp?
If I start another tab here, it's
Okay.
just Clipchamp. It's a website. It's a cloud-based editor. It's not locally installed unless you decide to. It's just clipchamp.com. And press enter, and there you are.
Oh.
You'll have to create an account, you say try for free. That implies that you're going to have to pay them at some point, but you don't. The free tier of Clipchamp seems to work just fine to me. I certainly wouldn't have minded paying them some money if I decided to do that, but I haven't seen a need to. You just click try for free to set up your account. The process is pretty similar. Or if you've already got a Clipchamp account, you just click login and it'll take you right to it. You can merge your Clipchamp account with either your Google account or your Microsoft account, which you're likely to stay logged into all the time on your computer.
How
So
do you
that'll stop
merge?
you from having to log into Clipchamp every time. It just comes up. And you just start a new project by clicking here where it says create a video.
What do you mean by merge account?
I'm sorry?
What do you mean by merge your
Oh,
account?
it just links, I shouldn't say merge, it links your Clipchamp account with your Microsoft account or your Google account.
Oh, I don't have to do anything. It does it automatically.
Well, no, you do have to tell it to do
Oh.
that. And then you'll have to enter your credentials for your Google or your Microsoft account in order to do that. But that saves you having to log into Clipchamp every time. Clipchamp starts up, it looks to see if you are logged into either whichever account you've linked to Clipchamp. And if you're logged in, it just automatically takes you to Clipchamp, and you don't have to do a separate login dialogue with Clipchamp. Saves you a little time each time you start it up. It's no big deal either way. And as you work with videos, they will pile up here in your project list. Some of these are just things that I didn't actually follow through on. And I didn't complete, so I'm just going to delete some of those. And
The bear sound, is that you or me?
no, I tell you what, let me mute and then you unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself now. Background
Okay.
noise somewhere. Okay, that's better. So you can always get back to any of these projects and work on them. And you can start a new project by just clicking create a video. And then you can load video that you already have, video and still images and audio that you already have into your Clipchamp project just by using this plus sign here and this interface. Or you can create video in Clipchamp. Clipchamp's actually kind of like Canvas Studio. It's a one-stop shop for everything except hosting, but you can create and edit video of both webcam video and screencast video in Clipchamp, and we ran through that. That'll be in the recording. Showed how to do that, and then edit it right and never have to leave Clipchamp. And quite frankly, Clipchamp's a lot better than that at creating video than Canvas Studio is. And once you're done, as you saw when we export, you can export directly to YouTube, or you can take the file that's automatically stored on your local computer and upload that manually to Canvas Studio to put it online. So Clipchamp just provides all sorts of capability for free, and it works great. The quality of the video and the audio is excellent. The transitions on the video comes out looking great. If you I would probably, on that one that we did today, I would probably go back and redo a couple of the trims to cut out. There was a couple of places where there was a little bit of silence, or one place where I saw myself looking away and things like that. But it's, you can always go back and tweak those things and re-export the video and reload it and so on. So it's just a terrific little system.
Oh, I wish I saw it from the beginning. Okay, but when I search for it, I just put in the word Clipchamp.
Oh, on the Open On Demand.
Yeah.
Just type Clipchamp. There's already a basic tutorial, a basic Clipchamp tutorial on there. That's about, I don't know how long this one is. It's editing about 23 minutes. And it covers most of what I covered today.
Okay.
Because I wasn't stopping and answering questions and things like that. But I will have this recording of the workshop on there under the workshop archives sometime within the next few days.
Okay. Thank you.
So you can just find it here. The easiest way to find it will be just to go to workshop archives. And it will be probably in the top row still, or on the first page at the very least.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Anybody else? Anything else? I'm gonna go right now and go to clipchamp.com and start making videos. Well, maybe not. It is the weekend, right? It's afternoon. It's officially the weekend by now. Oh, I got to tell you, this is one of the things that's most excited me, that new things in instructional technology that I've seen in the last 6 months. It's one of the most exciting things I've seen. It really works well. It's free. It's powerful. It solves. It meets a number of needs. Indeed, you could use this almost as your exclusive video production environment.
It's easier. It looks easier than Camtasia. And Dave,
it is easy. The easiest video editor to use I think I've ever seen. Camtasia is a little bit harder, only that Camtasia has a lot more capability. You can do a lot of things with Camtasia that you can't do with this. But for basics like this, where you just want to string videos together and put in transitions and make a nice looking, professional looking instructional video, you can't beat Clipchamp.
I mean,
when
I was at UCSD,
time to learn to use.
When I was at UCSD, I took television production, and there's like this huge board of switches and slides and voices, and it's everything in just a few minutes on the computer.
Right. Things have changed for
Yes,
the better.
Everything I've learned is outdated. So,
well, there is that problem.
all right.
Okay.
That music thing, there's how many different music because I really like that sound that you
There
have.
are 20 or 30 music clips in that library that you could use. You can find something you like.
In fact, I think I've heard that one before. It's like an upbeat.
I wouldn't be too surprised. They probably pass these things around. You know, they're all public domain, so anybody can put them and distribute them in their products.
But there used to be one on my Windows 7 when I used it all the time. That was like a jazz.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that might have been. And I don't know how you get to it now. So unless you have a computer, it's still running Windows 7.
It does. It just
Oh,
won't do
okay.
anything else. Like it'll just.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure where that might be.
But if I'm trying to think, if I transfer it like on a USB and then take it to this computer.
Yes, you could copy it onto your hard drive and then just import it into
Import it. That's what I was looking for.
into Clipchamp as you would any other media file.
Yeah, and make sure I write Clipchamp, not Clipchimp.
Right. Karen, I see you appearing there. Did you have a question?
I'm like Kathy. I started late, but I wanted to thank you. And I've been hesitant to use Camcast or the ones that I've sat in before. And I like what you said. This is the first time I think that I'm getting to the place where people are volunteering to be speakers and things like that for me. And I'm becoming excited about being able to bring videos.
Great.
So YouTubes and some of the other things, yes. So I just want to say again, thank you for you taking your time.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing the interest to show up.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good group there at one point. So
All right. Okay. Well,
thanks for
take care. See you
coming by.
later. I never
Bye.
say bye. Take care, Kathy. I haven't met you yet, but I see you in a lot of these. So.
I know. I like Dave said that I'm in so many of these videos. I can't commit a crime because everybody will recognize me. At least they'll know where I was. So I wasn't there at that time. I was being filmed.
There you go. There you go.
And you notice I did put my I finally learned how to put my little cartoon avatar.
Yes, I saw that. Your profile image is showing up when you turn your video off in Zoom.
Yeah, I have to log into it and then log on. It doesn't.
You have to
come up
log
on
into
that.
Zoom before you start the meeting or before you enter the meeting.
Hey,
Okay.
Dave, do you have a video for those kind of things? How to find an avatar to make up? Or I just don't even have, like right there, we've got your picture. Do you have any instructions on how to take a picture?
Where
put it
you're
on?
seeing me floating over top of the computer screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. That involves the use of a virtual video studio, a software-based video studio called Open Broadcaster Studio. And I do have several videos on how to do that. As a matter of fact, there's a collection of those videos.
Mhm.
If you just search for OBS, Open Broadcaster Studio,
Okay.
on the Open On Demand site.
Mhm.
But I think he's talking about just having her picture still, not just where you're floating and doing a broadcast. And you, in fact, you had one time you picked, I think there's now avatars right in Zoom.
Well, yeah, you have a Zoom profile image that you can add.
Oh, we do?
But OBS, if you're interested, the video you want is entitled Using Open Broadcaster Software Studio, and it is a complete set of tutorials on how to install it, and set it up and use it. But it takes a few hours to get it set up and get comfortable with it. It's not quite as simple as Clipchamp.
Oh, see, I don't have
Adding your profile image
Yes.
to Zoom
Yes.
is real easy. You can just go to the Zoom website at zoom.us.
Okay.
You'll have to log in.
Mhm.
Let me sign out, show you that. There's a sign in button here at the top of the screen,
Okay.
and you enter your credentials for your SDCCD Zoom account.
Okay.
That'll be your district email address, and
your whatever password they've assigned to you for that.
Yeah.
You sign in and you go to your profile in the menu on the left here.
Okay. I've seen that.
And there's a spot for a profile image.
Okay.
It will just be blank.
Okay.
But if you click on the little, if you mouse over it and click on the little pencil,
Uh-huh.
you can, if I say change the image,
Okay.
I can look for a picture that I want to use in lieu of that one. I've been using that one for a while. Let me try another one here. Got another one somewhere here.
Well, say for instance, I don't have any of me.
Well, actually, I think Zoom will also let you take a picture, will it? No.
Oh,
No, with Zoom, you have to upload a
Okay.
picture that you've already taken. You can take it with your phone and just load it onto your computer or whatever. But let's see. Oh, I can be Boris today.
Okay. Okay. Be Boris for a minute. Okay.
Click open. And there's Boris. Then I can move this crop square around so that I get enough of Boris in the, that's what's inside that lighted rectangle is what's actually going to show. And this is what it looks like, what it's going to look like.
Okay.
And I just save that. And
Ah.
now if I turn off my video in a Zoom meeting, Boris appears.
Huh.
But you have to be logged in to the Zoom website in order for that avatar to appear when
Mhm.
you turn your video off.
But I thought you also showed us that there was an avatar while you're in Zoom, but I was looking for it and I didn't see it. The little, there's like the little fox and.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the live avatars.
Live avatars. Yeah.
Zoom. Yeah, let me share my Zoom screen.
Because I was looking for it and I didn't see it.
It is under the video menus here in the lower left. The menu right next to the little video icon where you turn your video on and off in Zoom. You can click that little up caret and there's an option to choose virtual background. What you're describing is technically a virtual background in Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So you click on that and there's an avatars tab here
Yeah.
in your, let me make that a little bigger, an avatar tab. You click on that and you can be any one of these critters.
Oh, look, that's how they make them and they move.
Yeah.
When I move, it moves.
Okay.
But it doesn't have hands.
Nope.
So if I cover my hands over my head, you don't see anything.
Oh, wow, look at that.
So you can find
Yep.
out right
And
now
when
by
you
going
speak, it more or less lip syncs with you.
Scared of that.
So that's all there is to setting one of those.
Wow. I've been wanting that one over there in the corner with the palm tree. Yep, the palm tree and the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting that one.
There you go. You see
Yeah.
the avatar in the background.
Oh
of
my
the thing.
gosh.
That is cute.
Oh my goodness.
Or I can turn all that off
Uh-huh.
and be back to me.
Wow. Well, you're great too. I watch you any day, but thank you.
So
Okay.
that's how you utilize that. But if you want to do things like put yourself in different places and things like that,
Uh-huh.
you got to use OBS,
Oh, okay.
which is a, let me show you that. Here's what the OBS screen looks like. And I'm actually sitting in front of a green screen here.
Ah. Look
Yeah,
at
I've gone to 2 of the OBS ones. It's interesting, but I can't seem to, it doesn't seem to click.
It
Oh,
takes a
wow.
little
There you
doing,
go,
but
San
with
Francisco.
OBS, you can do some quite interesting video effects,
Uh-huh.
and
Like
you
the
can
news weatherman.
many different sources. And there's my view out my back window. The fire smoke's finally letting up a little bit. I can put myself in front of that.
Wow, look at that.
Bring up my document camera, as I did to show you what I was doing on the iPhone earlier. I've got another little camera that I can control remotely here.
You used to use those when you first started showing us Canvas, those document cameras.
Yes. Those document cameras are really handy. But that's a camera I use when I need to demonstrate how I'm doing something in my studio, my messy studio, I might add. So you've just got many, many, many different options in OBS that you don't have without it. It takes a couple hours to go through the tutorials. It takes a few tries to get it to work because it's a fairly complex system. But it will work for anyone, and it's completely free. It's open source software. People all over the world use it for broadcasting. And you can actually broadcast directly from OBS. You don't even have to use Zoom. You can just send people a link and they can, it's basically a TV studio, an internet TV studio, but it also works with Zoom. It'll feed video to Zoom, and that's what I generally use it for. And that's what you see me do that every time I hold one of these seminars. Okay. Any other questions?
Wow, thank you both. Thank you both. We got a whole lot out of that.
Yeah. But if you just want to start easy, film with Zoom. So like if we film something with Zoom, like an instructional video, and then use Clipchamp to edit it, that should work.
That's an excellent way to start. Absolutely.
Okay, but then we always have to close caption it. So,
well, if you put it on YouTube or Canvas Studio, those sources will close caption it for you.
Okay, but I think you said you couldn't go directly from Clipchamp to Canvas.
But I can't do it from within Clipchamp. Clipchamp. It's going to be Clipchamp, I know. Okay, I save that video to my hard drive.
Hard drive, okay.
Let's see, where's the edit? There's the final edit master video. If I want to put that on Canvas Studio, all I have to do is log in to Canvas, which I think I'm already logged in, yeah. And just go to Canvas Studio and add the video. Oops, I'm not logged in as me. I'm logged in as Rocky the Flying Squirrel there. Let me log in as me. And oh, my key is breaking down. I need to fix that. Save filter, chroma key. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now I can go to Canvas Studio in the global access menu there. I can add a video to Canvas Studio. I just browse for it. I have to know where I stored that video. That's getting more of a challenge every year.
Can we see that?
There it is. It's in my videos library in a folder named Clipchamp. Champ, not Chimp, Champ. There it is. And then I had a subfolder called Clipchamp Seminar where I put that. And here's my final edit master. I just click open, and that uploads that to Canvas Studio. And then I can caption it in Canvas Studio. I have to request the captions, but Canvas Studio will do the work. And then once that's done, I can share it with my students in Canvas or any other way. So
I have a question on that,
yes,
because I recently have a student now who is coming through DSPS and they want it closed caption. And I remember when we were training, and like you just said, YouTube will close caption.
it
You
does
know-
close caption automatically. Yeah.
Automatically.
You don't have, if you upload it to YouTube,
Yes.
you don't have to do anything to get it captioned. YouTube will caption it automatically. It will take some time, anywhere from a few minutes to a couple hours, but when it's done, you don't have to ask for the captions or anything like that.
Okay, because that was when we were training. So I'm okay. So
Right.
if the editing, I can still go in and edit it if they
Yes.
have it incorrect with the way I'm talking,
You
correct?
can edit the captions if they are not recognized correctly.
Okay,
Though it's rare.
yeah, okay, that's good to know.
Chances are you won't have to do much editing.
Karen
It-
is Karen, right?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
say you have a DSPS? Are you teaching online in the classroom? Or are you talking about when you create a video for that DSPS student?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, probably both right now. This is not. my-
Doesn't matter. If you
Okay.
use a video instructionally, either in the classroom or online at the district, it has to be captioned.
No, I was gonna say if it's because like if it is like a DSPS student who's using it something separately, then they're supposed to caption it for you or send a captioner. Like, how is
I
the
count on that. Oh, you're talking about a live captioning like in Zoom?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I
Well,
wanted
no,
to-
Zoom does that for you now automatically. You don't have to.
Well, so I was asking, how are you teaching that this student needs it captioned? That's what I was asking.
I haven't been, you know, I just received her accommodation yesterday.
Ah,
You know, I've never had a problem with it before,
when
but
you-
it's never been online.
when you do Zoom, if you do
Yeah.
Zoom class sessions with them,
Okay.
you'll have to turn on the live captioning in Zoom, which is automatic.
Okay.
It's not done by humans, it's done by an AI bot.
Mhm.
If you're sharing videos with this student,
Okay.
it doesn't matter if you have a
Okay.
DSPS student or not. If you're using videos in your class, they have to be captioned, whether you
Yeah.
have a hearing impaired student or not.
And I haven't been, I just assigned work through the book.
Gotcha.
And that's why I'm gonna have to ask the department because, you know, I just assigned work through the book for them to read and respond.
Are you teaching in the classroom or on?
No,
Zoom? That's what I.
Online.
Oh, okay. Well, there is that live transcription that goes on. That would and maybe
If you're doing live Zoom meetings,
Right.
live transcription will ensure that that student can see what you're saying.
And that's why I've never done it before. And that's why I like what I was learning today.
No, but
Very
Dave
good.
can show you can do it. It's real simple. It's just a little button. When you won't see it now because you're a guest, but if you're in charge of your Zoom, that like you're teaching by Zoom, right?
I'm listening. No, I haven't. I don't, but I'm listening.
Oh.
to you.
But if you were to,
Yeah.
it's
that's
right,
what I said. I'm listening. Go ahead.
right here where it says live transcript. in
No,
the
sir, it's not on your
just
screen
Click
right
on
now.
that and enable auto transcription.
Wait, that's not what you have up, Dave.
It's on the
It
bottom.
isn't. I'm sorry, I've got the wrong ones shared. Just a second. Thank you. Just a second. Let me redo that share.
Yeah, it's probably best to talk to the DSPS people to find out what, because there are things that they will do for you.
Okay,
But you shouldn't have to do all that extra work.
good.
Well, the captioning though, they're not going to do for you. That is
No, but if it's
available to you.
but if you're in the classroom teaching, but
Yes.
that's what I didn't understand.
Then they can get you a sign language interpreter or whatever.
It's not all that serious.
But
Yeah.
anyway, now you're seeing it. Yeah, if you go to live transcript, enable auto transcription,
Where are you, Dave?
then yeah, you should be seeing that now.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't. I see
I
it
go to
happening.
go to
Oh,
live.
right there.
transcript,
Okay, I see it. I'm with you.
And then click enable auto transcription,
Okay.
and then what you say starts appearing on the screen.
Ah.
Now,
okay.
that's my screen, but a student can go and turn subtitles on and off. They're closed subtitles.
Excellent.
So everything that's said in the meeting appears as text on the screen, and the student can move it around if it gets in the way and so on. So this is, and the accuracy of this transcription is amazing.
And there's some students who, they're not even DSPS students, like it because it helps them take notes better.
Yeah.
Especially if English is not their first language, but
Mhm.
other students as well.
Yeah,
That's
I
good to
should
know.
have turned that on at the beginning of the session today. I forgot. My bad.
Mhm.
But it's, people can ask for it if you forget, and you always want to turn it. It doesn't hurt anything because you can turn yours off so they don't bother you, and everybody else can still get the transcript, get the captions on their own. And finally, if you put a video in Canvas Studio, in order to get it captioned
Mhm.
by Canvas Studio automatically, you have to ask Canvas Studio nicely. You view the video, you go to the captions link here, and you tell it what language is spoken, presumably English, and you request the captions.
Okay.
This takes a little while. You have to come back a little later. Let me see if I've got one here that hasn't been. Yeah. When you come back later, you'll see this little button that says review and publish
Okay.
under captions. You see the captions. You can
Yeah.
edit them if needed.
Hmm.
That is really good.
Even got bamboozle, which is not even a word to my knowledge. That's what I said.
There you go.
So it's very good, but you can edit the captions.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
there are
then
mistakes occasionally.
it will make mistakes occasionally, and then publish the captions. And now they're visible, they're available when the student watches the video, or whomever watches the video. There's a little toggle captions
Mhm.
button, and you
Mhm.
can turn them on. Hi, everyone. My name's Dave Giberson. I'm a retreaded old. So
You can't move that from top to bottom
you
though.
can't move that one. You can in the live Zoom meeting, but you can't move the captions around the Canvas Studio video. So if they end up overlaying something, it's just too bad. But the YouTube will do the same thing,
Mhm.
but doesn't have to be prompted to do it. It just does it automatically. And with YouTube, you can move the captions around the screen like you could with, like I did with Zoom, if they
Mhm.
get in the way. The viewer can move those around. So
Okay.
on balance, I prefer YouTube as a hosting location to Canvas Studio. But Canvas Studio has some advantages in terms of testing and things like that in Canvas. So it's nice to have both.
Okay. Wow.
But call the DSPS and see exactly, because like sometimes students, what they're asking for is going to take an awful lot, and there are certain things that they will do for you.
That's true. If you need assistance or clarification,
Yeah.
check with your DSPS coordinator at your campus. What campus are you at, Karen?
I'm at City, but this student is at Miramar, so I'm at both this semester.
Miramar would be, I think, Rochelle Mojica.
Oh,
And
she's back in DSPS?
well, come to think of it, I'm not sure she is, now that you mention it. She worked there
Okay.
for years.
Yes, she
I'm
did.
not sure who the current
Okay.
DSPS coordinator is, though. If you want some advice about accessibility, there is no one better at the district to ask than Rochelle.
Okay.
She is she does consulting and teaching on accessibility all over the country. So
Oh,
she's
wow.
very
Okay.
good.
Excellent to know.
And she's a wonderful person.
Yeah, she was always good to me, and I'm just glad to be back at Miramar.
Well, I'm just glad we have you wherever you are at the district.
Oh,
Glad you're here.
thank
And
you.
I used to teach at Miramar, and I live like 2 miles from Miramar. So if you see
Okay.
something that looks like me, it probably is me.
Okay, where are you at, Kathy?
I'm at Mesa.
Oh, you're at Mesa. Okay.
Right.
May I ask what department real quick before Dave?
Communication,
disconnects us? Okay.
and you're in.
Go
I
right ahead.
am personal growth. I'm under count. It depends on the campus.
Just depends
Anyway,
on how
whatever
they
you do,
organize
keep
that.
it simple, and Dave's the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I keep coming.
You're always welcome to email me if you have a question.
And I have, you know, I have.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
And I
And
can't wait to use
that's
the
how you learn.
I know. I know.
Let's see, Vicky, you've been quiet for a while. Did you have anything you wanted to ask about?
I don't have anything about the subject for today.
Anything else?
There's something private because we can go. I have other
Oh,
things.
no, it's not
Oh,
private.
okay. Okay, everybody. Thank you. It's after 12 somewhere, like Dave said.
Take care. Y'all have a
Take
good
care.
weekend.
Bye.
Okay,
Nice to
bye.
meet you too, Vicky. Nice to meet you, Karen. Bye,
Thank
Dave.
you too. Bye-bye. Out, Dave. End or leave?
Leave.
Oh, leave. Okay.
You can't leave it. You can't end it.
Okay. Okay.
You can't hurt it. What can I help with, Vicky?
Well, I have a question about in Canvas about in the grading. When last year, when I would be teaching Excel or Word or something, if the students had to submit a second time, then it would turn green or something, to show me that it was a new submission. It wasn't the first submission. It would show me, it would turn a different color, but it's not doing that anymore.
Well, they do change Canvas from time to time, but you can always tell in the speed grader if there's more than one submission by I'm trying to think if I've got a multiple submission assignment here somewhere that I can show you. Let me try that. Probably in the tutorial sandbox here. If I go to the grade book, and I pick like an assignment that might have multiple submissions, and said puzzle icebreaker. Oh, that's not what I want. All assignment groups. Let me see if I can find something that might have 2 or more submissions. Let's try this one. Go to the speed grader. Okay, this one doesn't, but if it had more than one submission, there would be a little drop-down menu right here. And you could open that menu by clicking on it, and you could select which submission you wanted to view.
Okay. What I'm trying to do is avoid going to the speed grader. I'm trying to look at the grade book and know by looking at it. No.
No, there are color codes in the grade book, but none of them specify multiple submissions. They can specify, let's see, what are the various color codes? I'm gonna look at one here. Can never remember. If I go to the right arrow here, the color codes include late, missing, excused, or there's one other one. Can't remember what the other one is, but there's no way to tell that I know of that as an assignment, a particular assignment has been submitted by a student more than one time, other than going into the speed grader and looking for that little menu in the upper right-hand corner.
Okay.
I don't remember any other way to do that.
Well, when I go to the speed grader, I only see the last one that was submitted.
Yes. but you can pull up an earlier one as well.
Okay.
And I wish I had one that had multiple submissions here. Let me try that again. Oh, let's just do assignments. Yeah. Be able to show you that. Shoot, that one's only one too. Well, I guess I could just do one.
Maybe I could just put it as missing, and then I would know that and there was a new one.
Well, if you code it as missing, it's that could have some other unintended consequences.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. Go in as that test student 3. Come on, you're there somewhere. There you are. I'm doing this on another screen. I'm just going to go into that course. Let's see, Canvas tutorial sandbox. I'm going to go to that assignment. And I'm going to submit it again. Icebreaker. Let's see, I need the there it is. Finally found it. It's submitted. Oh, shoot. I don't have that one set to allow multiple submissions, apparently. Okay, fix that over here. That one's down at the bottom somewhere. There it is. Edit it. Unlimited, all right. So why is it not showing? Oh, due date's passed. No, it hasn't. Huh. 2021. Yeah, it is. Oops. I forgot to update that. All right. Let's do that. 30th. And save it. Now I should be able to submit that one again. He said. Shoot. Why is it not letting me do that again? I'm sorry. I'm not doing something right here. Allowed attempts is unlimited, so that shouldn't stop. Due September 30th. Oh, I changed it for test 1, but not for everybody. Shoot. Have to get everything right. Had to be some kind of screw up on my part. All right. Now,
Bingo. Now it's going to let me do a new attempt. I'm going to submit again, choose a file. Pull up a screencasting definition, open that and submit it. Okay, so now if I go back to the grade book here, that test 3 student should have 2 submissions. So I got to find that. Let's do assignments. Yep. Got to find the defined screencast. Oh, I can search for it. To do all that. Okay. Here's define screencasting, test 3 student. If I go to the speed grader, now instead of just a single date up here, I have 2 dates.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you know the student has submitted this more than once, and you can choose which submission to look at and grade. When you set up the assignment, you tell Canvas which grade to use, whether the highest grade, the latest grade, the latest attempt, the first attempt, or all options, the usual, or an average. You can have it average them together. The usual choice is to give the student the highest of the grade of the multiple attempts that they've submitted. But that's how you know, that's the only way I know to know whether a student has submitted an assignment more or taken a test more than once.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Sorry that took so long.
Don't save me that time. I just was hoping that, because I can't remember.
There was something you could just look at in the grade book that would tell.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
if there is, I don't know what it is.
Uh-huh. Well, somehow it was last year. I could tell by looking at it, there was a different color or something when they submitted the second time. And then, so I said, okay, so I'll check that one again. Otherwise, it just looks, I don't grade it because it's not correct.
If they submitted late, it would turn red. If they submitted after the due date, it would turn red. But that's the only thing I can think of that might be an immediate visual cue in the grade book itself. I'm sorry, I don't know of a way to figure that to see whether there's been there have been multiple submissions, except to go into the speed grader and pull it up in the menu up there in the upper right.
Well, I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, but I'm not saying there's no such thing. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's about the only question I had today.
All righty. Well, I'll be here again soon.
Okay.
You're always welcome anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
And you're always welcome to email me as well. So take care.
Right. Thank you.
See you soon, I hope.
All right.
Bye-bye.